Although I know that your account just got suspended. It's great to be here, though. We can vent on that a little bit. I've experienced some unfortunate censorship on my accounts as well recently.
It was crazy, man. So it was like, so there was a little backstory for those not in the know. There was Keith Olbermann was responding to somebody regarding the elections in Nicaragua, I believe, and I think Keith
Mm.
called the guy Daniel Ortega's whore. I think it was something like that. So everybody else in the chat said, "You're a whore too." I called him a balcony whore because he does that crazy shit on his balcony wearing a 3-piece suit and yelling like, kids are in his yard and shit like that. The fuck, man? So anyway, long story short, my Twitter account got, RIP, War Deer ENT, but,
Oh.
tricks, always tricks up the sleeve, so you can't keep a good asshole down like that. So, yay for us, and shit on Keith Olbermann and Hassan too. That guy. You hear about all that bullshit today?
I saw it. First thing I'm gonna say is, who cares what Hassan has to say? The guy, like, how is he relevant? Right? It's just all these little kids going through a phase. They don't know what's going on. They just get entertained by this guy who sounds like he knows what he's talking about to them, because they don't have that knowledge. They don't have that experience of what's going on politically in this world. I did say something to though in response to that, because I mean he's coming out of the wood. He's coming out of the woodwork to say something about this event to black activists, just to what? Just to own Jimmy Dore. And you can give some constructive criticism about this, which I will do when I'm on there. I would say that we can't just only do a general strike. We got to do even more than that. We got to start going deeper into the rabbit hole about what's going on. Who exactly is it that we're fighting? Why? What is their agenda exactly? Yeah, we know that they're oppressing us, but how exactly are they doing it? What are they going to do in the coming months and years? We got to know thy enemy, right?
Yeah.
That's what's written in what's that one book that everybody cites? Art of War,
Oh,
right?
the Art of War, Sun
Uh,
Tzu. Yes. Know thy
so
enemy.
I said, you tell people to vote for their oppressors, who are the root cause for why we have strikes. Right? We have strikes because we have people like Joe Biden and all these other corporate Democrats, in addition to the Republicans, which, Hassan and all of us agree are also stooges for the corporations. But you're still in the two-party illusion if you're telling people to vote for the lesser of two evils. Our problems are not going to be solved that way. It's not even harm reduction, it's just a continuation, and it's giving people an illusion of victory when really, if you look at the legislation written by the lobbyists that's being passed under a Democratic administration, there's a lot of stuff in there that's going to be oppressing us. It's going to advance surveillance. It's going to continue to enrich big oil, big pharma, etc. Then I said, then you simp for politicians who gaslight for the corporations we're supposed to be fighting against. He simps for AOC, who of course defends Nancy Pelosi, who works at the behest of corporations. Therefore, AOC, you may call it directly or indirectly, is gaslighting for these corporations, right? She's giving people false senses of victories when she goes over there to the Capitol, telling people that, oh, we won, we were able to extend the moratorium, even though that in reality it's just kicking the can down the road. People still owed rent. um, People had already been evicted for months. These politicians are careerists. They're not actually in it to help us. So that's why people are getting motivated to organize events like this, like what Fred Hampton leftists are doing. So you can push to do more. Like when you go on there, you're showing solidarity with them and saying we should do more. We should community organize. When we have these direct action events and we're giving people food, and we're giving food to people who are there, let's not give people food from McDonald's or food from Amazon or Walmart or wherever. That's that's from a corporation, because then that's kind of counterproductive, because we're still giving money to these people that we're supposed to be fighting against. We're
Right.
supposed to be taking power away from them. And
Yes.
they do talk about growing your own food and mutual aid, but this should be part of the conversation even more. So that's coming at it in a genuine way, but that's not what Hassan Piker is doing, right? He wants to shut this down so that people can just keep watching his show or shows that are adjacent to his, like Humanist Report and all these other people that sit
Ugh.
for AOC and tell them to vote for the lesser of two evils. So I told him we are definitely not the same. So yeah, I agree with you in that we're not the same.
Yeah, no
We're
kidding.
actually more aware of the problems than you are.
Yeah, I mean, he says, well, you can't be just tweeting and stuff all the time. He's on Twitch or whatever. He's like, in his little cave, with his money that he made off of that, and he talked about, well, I raised money for for direct action for strikers and stuff. And like, well, that's good, but don't shit on somebody else's efforts. I think
Should
what
be
he
helping them
thought.
too.
Right, exactly. Well, I think what he thought, and what was it? Owen Higgins I think that was it. He was quote tweeting him. So I think they thought that this was going to be this 3-day weekend, or this 3 days was going to be a general strike period, right? Like, we're going to do a general strike on YouTube. I mean, no, it's a general strike summit. And you're talking about ideas how to, like you said, not only just for mutual aid and strikers, but like getting maybe, teaching people how to grow food and stuff like that.
All right, this makes it look even more ridiculous. He thought that they were doing a general strike online, like a virtual general strike.
I think that was the assumption.
Not what they were doing.
I can't exactly, and no one even whiffed at that notion that there was that it was a general strike going on. It was a general strike summit.